Very good morning to all. I welcome all for the second day of national level workshop on data science, analytics, artificial intelligence and Tableau. Dear participants, here is an important instructions to all. After the session, we will be sharing feedback form link to your registered email ID. Now we will begin with the session. Over to the resource person.
Good morning, all. Thank you. Hi all, Jinal here. Today's plan is, I will start with the artificial intelligence topic from where we left yesterday, and later on, Himanshu will take over with Tableau. I'll share my screen. Okay, please confirm once my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Yeah, thank you. So, in the interest of probably some of the new folks and considering this is a new topic, I prefer to have a recap for a quick 4 to 5 minutes, and then we will jump to the new topic today. So yesterday we discussed about how web applications are evolved towards a mobile application, and then it is further evolved towards virtual assistants where we can talk to our applications, and we can, application can understand the intent and perform certain operations. And within the assistant space, so virtual assistant with whom we can talk, it started from knowledge based interaction where we ask very basic queries and it gives information which it has, to a productivity, then transactions like, payment of maybe some of the ordered items or for some of the products. And it evolved further to the device control where we can control our devices with the help of assistants. So for example, you can switch on, switch off your lights with the help of assistants, so it understands your natural language and then perform some of the tasks. Now this is how industries evolved, and what we understood is the core concept behind this entire evolution is we are making the application cognitive enough. It means that the intelligence which we have as a human within us, we are passing that capabilities to our technology platforms. The basic capabilities which we have is to interact, to think, and to perform something on the same, that we are passing to our applications. And we are giving some of the capabilities, say for example vision capability, so that our application can see, natural language processing capability, so it can, understand our language and it can react on it. At the same time, it can learn over the period of time based on the, historical data and the experience which it, gets, and based on that it performs certain actions. So that is the act part. Later on we have seen, artificial intelligence is composed of multiple disciplines, and it has, reasoning, learning, problem solving, perception, linguistic capabilities. And there are certain applications which, there are certain generic applications which it can, develop, and it can help us. Now to create this entire ecosystem, what we have is we have some strong technology building blocks, which is on NLP, computer vision, machine learning, deep learning, neural network, and virtual agents. And why we are using it or why we are doing AI, one of the strong reason is it helps us to improve the operational efficiency of our applications. It gives better experience. It actually helps us to understand our data in a better way, because we probably are accumulating data over the period of time since so many years. We can utilize or we can leverage our historic data to produce, very good output out of it. We can reduce the cost of a lot of applications and, traditional approaches where things are very cost effective is required, that is where AI can help us. And later on we focused on the conversation part of it. So we went little bit into the depth of conversational AI, where we do a conversation with the help of text message. It can evolve further with the help of voice enablement, and then it can evolve further with the help of virtual reality, where a human persona helps you to interact and gives you better experience while talking to your applications. Later on, we went to a little bit more detail about how to develop conversational AI platforms. So where Alexa from Microsoft Language Understanding and from Google Dialogflow is available, and that helps us to build a conversational AI platforms. This is one of the screenshot of how we define, and which are the platforms are there which can be integrated with the help of conversational AI platforms. This is a small snapshot of that. We have seen a small demo of virtual avatar, that how virtual avatar we can create and how it can talk to everybody. And then we discussed that these all models which we have so far seen, the all platforms which we have so far seen, we will have two options. We can either build it if we have some historic data, and we can definitely go for a buy. Then we have seen some examples where readily available AI models are there, for example for sentiment analysis. So as a startup, if we do not have any data, we can directly start using readily available AI models, which can help us to do a sentiment analysis. So we have seen some demo for that. So this is for text. Similarly, we have seen a demo for images, and based on that, it can have a think capabilities, and then ultimately it can perform some process, or it can do some action based on that. And now we move towards the today's flow, which is AI adoption approach. So we are going a little bit deeper now into the think perspective, which we have already discussed. Now, within the think area, when you want to create your own models or you want to buy, there are certain characteristics or properties which you have to understand. And based on that, you can decide to adopt, that you want to go for pre-trained readily available model, or the second option is custom AI development. Now we will discuss only few characteristics or properties to explain you. The very first thing is, as we have discussed, if you want to implement your artificial intelligence models, so we can say that machine learning models or deep learning models within AI space, what you need is, very primary thing is information architecture. It means that you need data. You need some historic data. You can use that data and you can train your own model, create your own model. And if you do not have that data, obviously you will have to go for some pre-trained readily available models. That is first point. Second point is, when you want to go for something which is very generic, obviously you can go for pre-trained models. And when you want to create something which is very specific to your business, you can go for custom AI model development. Now, let's take an example of sentiment analysis only. We go for sentiment analysis because we want to understand sentiment of probably feedbacks. Now, that is generic thing. In such cases, you can go for pre-trained models. And if within sentiment analysis, you want to do a very business level customization. Say, for example, we are an insurance company, okay? And somebody talks to our virtual agents, you can say a persona, for buying the insurance. Somebody makes the statement that I want to buy a critical illness policy. Now, what do you mean by critical illness policy? Means if some illness happens, which is very critical enough, then that policy will cover it. Now, critical and illness, both are very negative sentiment words. So your pre-trained model can say that it is very negative. But for your business context, it is not very negative, right? It is very neutral statement for your business. So for your business specific cases, you may have to go for custom AI development. Now, third portion, third section, that whenever you want to go for pre-trained models, you may not need, uh, a very strong expertise on data science aspects, which Himanshu has covered yesterday. You you can, start using those pre-trained models as a web developer or as a mobile app developer also, because those are readily available and you can start consuming it with a limited understanding of it. But when you want to go for a custom AI development, you have to have an understanding of entire AI development life cycle, machine learning development life cycle. You have to understand, and you have to understand data science aspects, and then you can, gradually get into a custom AI development model. So it is little bit complex path. At the same time, it is a niche area where you have to build your skills to get it developed. Okay, so these are the basic differences between pre-trained models and custom AI development. Now today our little bit more focus will be towards custom AI development life cycle, that when somebody wants to build own AI models, machine learning models, what you have to do and what question comes in your mind, that if you want to take a very first step towards the AI development, what you should do, what you should think about. That is what we will focus on today. So, when we basically go for any AI development, the very first question comes in the mind is, how your system will learn. There are various, options and approaches and various types, the way your machine can learn. Some of the very basic types I have written here. First is supervised, second is unsupervised, and third one is reinforcement. We will go in a sequence. Very first one is supervised approach to develop your own machine learning models. Okay, now when you want to develop your own machine learning model, again I will reiterate, you will have a very basic three types. There are a few more permutation and combinations available, but these three are main pillars of machine learning types. Very first one is a supervised. Now within supervised, you have, uh, two different areas. One is linear regression and one is classification. Linear regression, yesterday Himanshu has showcased. When you want to create a machine learning model which can tell you that what will be the price of your house in 2025. Okay, I hope you guys are getting my question. The question is, what will be the price of your house in 2025? And you already have a historic data for your house price from 1990. You can feed that information to your machine learning model, which you are going to create, which is a custom model, and it can tell you that, okay, this is going to be a price of your machine learning model in 2025. This is a, regression kind of problem statement, where you predict a constant value, you predict one particular value. So you can say that you are being given X and you are predicting Y. That is your linear regression in a very layman terms. So that is a linear regression kind of problem statement. Now, if I will tell you that you classify my statement or my feedback into positive, neutral, and negative. So, say for example, I'm very happy with the, session, and I would like to attend such sessions again and again. This is my feedback. Okay. So what we are doing here is, we are not doing regression, right? We are just trying to classify that this particular statement falls under positive bucket, neutral bucket, or negative bucket. So these three classes are there. There can be various different type of classes. You can have just two class also, that a positive and negative. Either the feedback is positive or it is negative. So only two classes are there, right? So this is, a classification kind of problem, where you have two, three, four, five, multiple classes are there, and you are trying to specify whether it falls under first bucket, second one, third one, or which particular bucket. One of the another example is, say for example, you all are students, right? And you must be having multiple department within the college, within the institute, right? Now, one department is, admin department, one department is HR department, somebody is maintaining infrastructure, somebody is maintaining, the educational aspects. Now, say, for example, these four departments are there, and whoever wants to, raise any questions to this department, they open one portal and then they write their question, and they just submit it. Now, we can create a classification model based on the intent of the question. Automatically, your model can route the question to a particular department. That is called classification, right? And say, for example, if somebody tells you that, okay, I have a scores of the students, and I want to predict the score of the student for, the future exam, then that is called regression. You are predicting one number based on certain values of X. So that is linear regression and classification. Now, this falls under supervised approach, but what is the meaning of supervised? So if you observe, what we are doing here is, you always have some, historical data. So the demand here is, when you want to create a machine learning model with the help of supervised approach, you will always need historical data. So for your uh, office or, institutes classification problems, like the queries or questions to should go to which particular department. So for that, you need some historical data. You will use that data and you will create the model. Okay, for house price, you have a historic data of your house price of past years, and then you are predicting something for future. That is supervised approach. So you have your data. Now let's go to the second category. Second category is unsupervised approach. It means that you do not have labeled data, proper information you do not have, but you have, a kind of, you can say that, a, a scattered information which is unlabeled, and you want to create groups out of it automatically. That is called clustering. So, say for example, if you have information which is uh, about your college questions, and that information is not classified. So say for example, you have 100 different questions. These questions are not classified, that this question falls under category or department 1, second question falls under department 2, third questions falls under again department 1. This kind of, categorized information is not present. You just have 100 questions, and you don't know how many clusters can be prepared. We don't know how many departments are there. So what we can do is, we can create clusters of these all questions. So your model, the unsupervised model, can create small clusters of all these questions, and you can, even decide that, okay, how many types of questions are there, and how many departments can be formed based on this type of questions. That is called unsupervised approach. Okay, and then the third option, which is reinforcement learning. Now, I hope you guys can recollect based on this image that this is for which particular game. This is AlphaGo game. Okay. Now, one of the a very famous trend in the AI area is how machine learning model can learn by looking at or observing some of the behavior of the system or human. So say for example, the black dots which you can see right now here, that is human, we are playing. And the right side, white dots are there, that computer is playing, your model is playing. Okay, your model will, and in this particular approach, you are not giving any data. Your model will accumulate data over the period of time by itself, and it will keep on observing you. When you will play, it will keep on observing you. So say for example, you are playing chess or this particular game. First step you will take, second step your system will take, third step you will take, fourth step system will take, fifth step you have taken, and probably you won, and your system failed, your machine learning model failed. But it will learn that, okay, I failed, so if I will play like this, I will fail. Second time again it will learn, third time again it will learn, it will keep on failing. Okay, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, so multiple iterations it will run, and it will learn based on those iterations and based on observations. But then probably after a few thousand iterations, your system, your machine learning model will be strong enough to understand that, okay, how I should play to win. And you will not believe, this is one of the most complex game in the world. And machine learning model, which is reinforcement based, it has learned this game by observing and collecting. You can say one of the technical word is rewards. By observing and by with the help of some reward mechanism, it has learned, and it has won in front of one of the master of this particular game in China. So this is reinforcement type of learning. So there's three different types of learnings are there. There's three different type of machine learning approaches are there. And based on the business problem statement, we decide whether we should go for reinforcement, whether we should go for unsupervised, supervised, what kind of approach we should go for. And then it will learn with the help of mechanism which we have planned. So moving towards one of the next final concluding discussion, that what life cycle we follow if we want to prepare our own AI model. So this is a development life cycle. Now this life cycle is not a fixed life cycle. It's like based on your business problem statements, based on the approach which you select, based on the unsupervised, supervised, or reinforcement learning, this cycle will change. Right now, what I have displayed here is a very basic life cycle for, you can say that, a supervised approach, where you have a labeled information and how you should start and which all steps you should follow to develop your machine learning model. That is what we are going to discuss. Now, first of all, understand that whenever you want to go for any machine learning model development, you have to have a core understanding of machine learning model aspects and the life cycle. That's why this is a very critical steps to understand, the way you must have studied software development life cycle, SDLC process, within your traditional application development. Similarly, there are certain methodologies which we follow within AI space also. It starts with the business understanding. If you can recollect, yesterday Himanshu has discussed which all roles are there which you have to have within the data science project, within the analytics space, within AI space. There is a critical role business analyst plays. So this is one of the first step where data scientist, business analyst, and AI experts, AI consultant, machine learning model engineers play to understand the business requirement, that what is the final goal, what we want to achieve. That is the first step. Second step is, even as a data scientist or business analyst or even as a developer, we have to understand the business domain. If we do not understand the domain, we will not be able to produce the output which business is expecting. That is true for even web application or maybe any other application development cycle also, where business understanding is needed. We have to understand what is the domain and what is the acceptance criteria of the product which we are developing. So ultimate business users, what they are expecting, that is what we have to understand. And then the third core pillar is, what is business data readiness? Do they have a data ready or not ready? If they do not have data, probably we may have to create their data acquisition architecture, and we have to explain them that because they do not have certain data elements, probably they may have to go for readily available AI models and start accumulating the data for future, so that in future they can have a custom AI development. And in case they have a data ready, then we can definitely go for the next step and start the work around it. Okay, so that is the business understanding aspect, where the role of business analyst, data scientist, and AI consultant is very high. ML engineer, ML developer, or pure AI developer, their role will start coming in the second phase. So you can say that the next phase. Okay. Now, the next stage is data acquisition and exploration. So, this is this place where you have to do a little bit research that what kind of data they have given. Because, somebody can give you a data which is wrong. So you are going to predict the house price of your area. So, and for 2025. Now you have taken the data from 1990 to 2021, but that data itself is incorrect. So it means that whatever you are going to predict, that will be wrong. Be it a custom model, or be it a readily available AI model, ultimately your output will be wrong. Why? Because whatever input you are giving, that itself is wrong. And if that is wrong, the outcome will be wrong, right? So that is called, a kind of a validation aspects of a data. You validate your data, understand your data, and then start doing research around it. That for your business goals, which you have already defined, discussed, which model you should go for. It is a regression kind of problem. It is a classification kind of problem. You have a labeled data, or it is unlabeled. If it is unlabeled, you should go for, unsupervised approach. If it is labeled, you should go for supervised approach. Can we label it manually, or can we label it with the help of certain scripting? So many other aspects comes here, and we validate it. Then the another portion, another aspect which we do here is data visualization. So there are a few things which Himanshu has already discussed, and there are a few things which he is going to show you today, that you visualize your data, that how your data looks like. So say for example, somebody has given you a history data of your house prices from 1991. Before you start using that data, you can at least create a small bar chart, pie chart out of it, right? Line charts out of it. You might have created those kind of charts in the Excel, but today we will see more advanced, tools to create those kind of charts. So you visualize your data to understand it in a better way, because as a ML engineers, or as a developer, whatever data we are going to feed to create our AI model, ultimately based on that only output is going to come. So it means that the more understanding which you will have about your information architecture or data information, you will be able to validate that yes, your outcome is correct or not, right? So that is second part. The another part is, if while you do a visualization, you identify that okay, this particular information looks wrong. So say for example, you have received the information about a house prices, right? For 1995, suddenly the house prices are dropped by 90%, and you will be able to observe that okay, this is wrong, because continuously the price was 50 lakh, 60 lakh, 70 lakh, and suddenly it is showing that price is 20 lakh for one particular year. So you will be able to identify that okay, this looks wrong, okay, because with the help of visualization you will be able to identify that, because you will not be able to read it manually. So with the help of visualization, you will understand that, okay, here something looks wrong. So do you identify your data, which is wrong, incorrect, inconsistent, and you clean it. Now, when I say clean means, you will have an option to remove it, or you will have an option to replace it by probably correct value. Okay. So this is data acquisition. Take your data from the business, explore your data, and then go for the next step. This is a very critical step, because based on this only, your ultimate outcome is going to come. Okay. So that the next phase comes is modeling part. Now, modeling part means, first thing is feature engineering. Now, let's not get into too much of jargons of all machine learning aspects, but in a layman term, I'll explain you. You know, machine cannot understand our own, maybe integer values, or characters, or a kind of a strings or sentences. Machine cannot understand, right? So ultimately, when your machine learning models try to do a learning from your data, what we have to do is we have to convert our data into a machine learning form, right, in a particular format which machine can understand. That is first step. Cleaning and everything is already complete, right, in the previous stage. So now you are taking that data and you are assuming that everything is fine, all the data is fine. Now you're transforming your information into the machine learning format. Okay. Now, when you want to create your model, you will have multiple options, right? Even if somebody wants to do, classification, that it is a positive, neutral, negative, or somebody wants to do a regression, like house price prediction, you will have multiple options of algorithms. I believe you know what algorithm means. It's like a mathematical process and different approaches. Based on that, your model will learn, your system will learn based on historical data. And for doing regression, you will have multiple algorithms. For classification also, you will have multiple algorithms. Which model you will select for prediction, that is the next stage. You may select multiple algorithms, try, attempt 2 3, check which one is giving better output, and go for it, go with that. But before you actually apply even all those 2 to 3 algorithms, you will have to have a knowledge for your particular problem statement, which model or which algorithm you should select. That is where our role comes in. That okay, which algorithm I should select for better output. Okay, I will always have an option to select 2 3, try, attempt, and then pick up the best one. But for that also we will have to have some knowledge on algorithm selection. Once your model is ready, you will do evaluation, right? You have to evaluate whether the output is coming or not. So it is like a testing. I believe you must have done testing for your own web application, mobile application, or any other application which you have created. So it's like you are validating the outcome. So whenever somebody will give you a data, you will create your model, and you will always have a two type of you will divide your data into two parts. One is training part, and then second is testing part. And with the help of testing part, you will validate whether the output which you are creating, that is making sense or not. So that is your testing part. And once testing is complete, and once you will validate that okay, your approach is fine, you may do some fine tuning, retraining, and whether your models are meeting the scope and expectation or not, you will go for deployment. So that is the last stage where you will deploy your model. Now when you will deploy your model, the very important aspect is there are certain things which you have to observe. Yesterday we have seen one demo where we are writing one statement like movie was good, and but I prefer this type of movies, thriller type of movies. The moment we have clicked on analyzed, it has returned that it is a mixed kind of a feedback. It is not very positive, it is not very negative, it is not even neutral, right? It means that your model is able to respond to you within a very fraction of seconds. So performance of the model will matter a lot. We have to ensure that the performance of the model is fast enough, it is fine tuned enough, it is lightweight enough so that the users get the expected output immediately, right? And then with a full confidence, the score. So it will give you the confidence score, it will give you the accuracy score. So you guys must have observed, even I believe there were some questions around the percentage of the accuracy score and outcome of it. So it will return you some scores and it will give you details. And based on that, you will define your acceptance criteria, and you will talk to your business that okay, this is how it is giving outcome, and it is meeting the expectation of the business or not. So if you can observe in the business understanding phase where we have initiated the entire process, we have defined the criteria that okay, what is the acceptance criteria, and whether it is meeting or not. If it is meeting, you will deploy it. If it is not meeting, you may have to go back, you may have to do a fine tuning, retraining once again, you may have to validate your data again and then do it again, and you deploy your model, and you will achieve your first milestone. So I hope you are able to observe milestone 1, the green round box which I have displayed here. That is your first milestone. Now you guys must know that machine learning model learn over a period of time. So it is not once and full and final deployment. You will again keep on accumulating your data, and your machine learning model will keep on learning on regular basis. So new data will come in, again you will run the entire cycle, and your model will run again itself. It will fine tune itself again, it will retrain itself, and over the period of time your accuracy scores, your performance, everything will improve. The more data you have, the optimal data which you have, or a clean and consistent data which you will have, the accuracy will improve. So this is all about a life cycle of machine learning model. And the next phase, which you will see in detail, is about visualization. So I would request Himanshu to take over and start with the visualization aspects.
Thank you, Jinal.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me share my screen. Please confirm me if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, Himanshu, we can see that.
Thank you. Let me put into the presentation mode. Okay, so today, like, I will be covering the Tableau hands-on. Before we start the Tableau, let me give you a brief about data visualization. Jinal has already like given some idea, but let me give you few. Let us go through few case study. What good visualization is, what are the good practices, and then the exercise part we will do on the Tableau. So to start with, if you remember, you see a Venn diagram here. In yesterday's session, we had this Venn diagram, right? Where the data science was at the center. So like why we use pictures, diagrams everywhere whenever we want to tell someone. There is a saying also, a picture is worth 1,000 words. There is a reason behind it. Our brain reacts to a picture very fast. You can say it's kind of a parallel processing which our brain does. While when we read it sequentially, then we understand it. But when it comes to picture, we not only understand it very fast, but we also remember it for a very long. As a students, like you might have like realized, if you have to write some answer and if you have a diagram with you, it's very easy for you to write any answer. So that's what like this visualization helps. So even in the data science, like what we do the data analysis first, right? So this data visualization help us to analyze the data fast as well as very easily. This is like the definition of data visualization. I will not take much time here. It's saying me the same thing, like it's the use of the visual representation to explore, make sense, and communicate data. Let us move on. Okay. So here we are seeing the type of analysis. In the visualization word or in the analysis word, we have two different type of analysis: exploratory analysis and exploratory analysis. As the name suggests, exploratory analysis is where we explore the data, while the explanatory analysis is where we explain our data. We will come to all these when we will doing the exercise. So now let's say you want to build a visualization, where to begin? So there are three major steps that you should follow. First, you need to understand who your audience is. As per your audience, you will be very specific and you will be creating your content, whether it's for executives, whether it is for managers, or whether it is a high level details are required, a very detailed requirements are there to show to our client. So it depends like who is your audience. Accordingly you will create your visualization. Second comes it what, like what they do they need. We don't have to assume that like they have given us the data and we will give them some pictures, some our analysis, and they will be able to understand it. No, first we need to understand what they are expecting from us. That should be very clear in our mind. Then third step come as a visualization, where I will be saying how I need to do it. It can be with the help of any tool. It can be help of with the help of any programming language like Python or R. This is how we create, and here any tool will help us to create the visualization. Okay, now let's switch to the case study. Let me tell you a scenario. Listen it very carefully. Consider a scenario where a new subject is introduced in a school. Or let's take our subject data science as an example. Now, what the management of institute want to know how their students feel about this new subject. Since the subject is new, what they do? They conduct a webinar like ours, and then they do the survey. So basically they do the two surveys, one before the webinar, one after the webinar, to know how their students feel about this new subject. And then after the whole this exercise is done, they ask the organizer to come up with the report. And now I am going to show you a report which organizer present to their management. Here is the report. So what this report says, before the webinar, how do you feel about the data science? Post, how do you feel about the science? So what organizers have come up, they have come up with a pie chart, and they have divided the whole students as per their interest. Some were excited, some were interested, some said it's okay. This was before the webinar and this was after the webinar. So what do you feel like this visualization is able to tell the management? This is one way of presentation or one way of report. Now let me show you the another way. This is another way to present to the management. This looks more effective compared to the previous one. Let me tell you why. Here I have divided my data into 5 different parts, which anyone can very easily understand. Like I can directly see in my pre-webinar, the students who were excited were 19%, while after the webinar, it was 38%. Similarly, before the students were okay with the subject 40%, but now it is down because it has increased here. As well as you will see some other attributes here. For an example, in this visualization, a clear message is written, pilot program was success. So management would like, they don't have much time, right? So they would like to see the direct message, okay, that webinar was a success. And here is a question as well. How do you feel about data science? And now if you will see the combination of the colors here, what they have done is for the gray color, they have written before program, majority of the children felt just okay about the science, while after program, more children were kind of interested. So they have also written the summary as well with the matching color. The bar color represents after, while the gray color represent pre-webinar. So this kind of visualizations, like we can do a lot of visualizations with the help of our data, but what is an effective visualization? This particular visual is telling you. Also, let me tell you like what was wrong in the previous visual. Here we were showing a pie chart, right? So pie chart is basically for part to whole relationship. Like, if I was not, if my aim was not to compare from previous to post, then this pie chart is very good, where I just want to see, okay, 40% of my students are okay, while 19% are excited. If it is about just one thing, part to whole relationship, then the pie charts are very good. But when it comes to comparison, then it can be bar chart or it can be line chart. So we will go through all this in more detail. Okay, so let us do a exercise, and we will do this exercise in Tableau as well. But before that, let us try to do some observation from our side. So consider this as 4 data set. In one data set, I have 2 columns, x1, y1. In second data set, x2, y2, and similarly for the third and fourth data set. So if you look all these 4 data set, what is your observation? Just look for few seconds. Yeah. So what we can see here is, I can observe one thing, like my x1, x2, x3. This is the similar data, right? While x4 is all 8, while there is 119. And if I say about y data, then this y is changing, and there is no, I can't say like what it is basically. What is the relation between x and y here? That I can't say directly. So if such data is given to you, what you will do? First, you start with your mathematics, right? A statistician. What a statistician will do? He will like any math or whatever we want to do, we first open an excel, we paste our data. And what we will do, yesterday we discussed in the data science, like we do some states like average, variance, covariance, and all those. So this is done on all of these 4 data set. And what we come to know, okay, mean of x is coming 9 for the first data set. For the second data set also it is coming 9. Similarly for the third, and similarly for the fourth data set. And mean for the y is coming 7.5, and it's coming same for all the data set. Even the variance for x and y is also same. Variance correlation between x and y is also same. And even yesterday we discussed about the linear regression, where we discussed about that line y equals to mx plus c. If I try to create a line out of it, it is also coming same. So if we talk about the fact and the data, it looks like this all four data sets are similar when we talk about this statistics, right? But there is a catch. I visualize this data now with the help of any tool. We will do this thing with the help of Tableau. But what this visualization is telling me, this is my first data set, second data set, third data set, and fourth data set. I can see, no, my data is not same. Now let me tell you with the help of an example which we discussed yesterday as well. Consider on x-axis, let's say we have time, and on y for a company we have sales. So for this first company, I can see the sales is increasing with the over the period of time. So this my line of regression can predict accurately, not completely, not with 100% accuracy, but with a good accuracy, I will be able to predict the over the period of time. While if I talk about the second data set, I can see my sale has increased up to here, then it started decreasing. So basically, if I talk about the future time, then it looks like it should come down, but my linear regression is saying it should go up. Similarly, if we talk about the third, there is one outlier here. When I say outlier, what does it mean? This is a data point which is outside from the range of other data points. So because of this outlier, see this line is going little bit up. This outlier has shifted the line of regression little bit up. It should be actually on the dots, but because of this outlier, it has gone up. Same is the case, just one outlier has forced my linear regression line to be like this, otherwise it should be like this. So now let me take you to the Tableau and let's try to create this in the Tableau as well. Or maybe, before we go to Tableau, let me give you a little bit more idea about Tableau, like what Tableau is, and then I will open the Tableau. So I will just give you a quick introduction. Tableau is like another business intelligence tool, but it has very good visual analytics as well as we can do a data discovery as well with the help of it. Like here, what we do with the help of maths and stats, we came to know the facts, but with the help of visualization, we discover that there is something else here. That is what the Tableau is about. And a quick, like very quick architecture we can go through. On this side, you can see we have the data sources. It can be anything, Oracle, your Sybase, anything. It can be the Excel file or any database you connect with the help of Tableau desktop. You can do the live query or you can create an extract which will be the in memory of Tableau. We called it extract in terms of Tableau, and with the help of this desktop tool we will create some visualizations and report. There is a security architecture and other components, and then with the help of Tableau server we will publish these reports over the web. This is how a general architecture for every tool is. Now let me now switch to Tableau. So the screen right now which you are seeing is the first window for Tableau, where we connect to the different data sources like Excel, text file, JSON file, Access, many other files, even to the databases like MySQL, Oracle. These are all data sources which are readily available. If some new data source or any data source which is not listed, we can connect it with the help of ODBC or JDBC connector. Okay. Now let's do our exercise. What I have done is I have imported that Excel into my Tableau environment. So you can see, okay, let me show you the Excel data as well. It will give you more idea. See, this was the screenshot which was on my PPT, right? This is the X1, Y1, the first data set. All the 4 data set, their mean variance, and there is a correlation formula here. And then as we like discussed, right, in the data science, first we need to prepare the data. That is called as modeling. So here I have prepared the data for the Tableau in a certain format. What I have done in the X and Y column, I have put all my 4 data set into a single column. This up till here, I have the set 1. From here to here, I have the set 2 X and Y values similarly. So this is what my data is. So I imported my Excel into this environment. I can see those 3 sheets which we saw just now. So what I will do, if I want to import this data for analysis, I simply need to click over here and drag it here. What it does, I can see the data which was there in my this pen. Now if you notice, here it is asking me go to the worksheet. So in Tableau terminology, we have 3 things: worksheet, dashboard, and story. So what worksheet is? In worksheet, it's a simple tabular format or in the visual format where you do your analytics part or your analysis part. You create the report out of it. You create different multiple in the worksheet. And then when we go to dashboard, what we do in the dashboard, we combine all these worksheet in a dashboard. That is the definition of the dashboard. It includes more than one visuals to show it together. And then in Tableau, there is a new feature which is not available in many of the tools. It is called as story. And if you see the symbol, it is like a book symbol. The books has the story. I will show you like what the story is. Okay, so now let's start our exercise. Let me start creating a sheet. I came to a different environment where it is saying it is sheet 1, and I can see the columns which were coming in when I imported my data source. So it's a drag and drop, like, so if like you people, if the students, if you have learned Python or R, like what we need to do, right? We need to write the code, we need to import the libraries, we need to write the code and all those, but it's like a GUI. I just need to drag and drop. If I drag my X here, it has directly created a bar. It has done the aggregation. It is doing a sum. As of now, I can change that aggregation as well from here. If I want average, if I want the count, if I want the maximum value, minimum value, I can change it, and on the click it will get changed. Now let me pull the Y in the rows. What it has done currently, it has done the sum for both. But what we need, we don't need the aggregated data, we need all the data. So what I need to do, I need to go here and uncheck the aggregation. So on the x-axis, I have my data, on y-axis, and there is this plot. But right now it is showing me, since in x and y column, I have all the data with me, right? So I need to put a filter to first get my data set 1. So what I will do, I will drag this set to my filter pane. But before that, I will convert this set into the discrete. As of now, it was, see, what you see here is a green color. So in Tableau, the green color means continuous data, while the blue color means discrete data. Since I need the values as 1, 2, 3, and 4 discrete data, and it was a discrete data, that's why I converted into the discrete format. Now I will click 1 and click OK. See what it has done. Let us go back to our PPT and try to compare it. This was the figure, right? We built. So this is my x1 and y1, and this is my scatter plot. We call it a scatter plot. Now let us try to build a quick linear model. So here, if you see, there is a pane called as analytics. What I can do, this trend line, I can simply drag and drop this trend line, and it will tell me based on this data what my line is. So based on this line, I can predict my future sales. So this is the data set which we created for our first data set. This is a simple visualization. Now similarly, let me do it for the second. Same steps, X to the column, Y to the row, analysis, uncheck the aggregation, all the data is there. I need to go to filter. I need the second data set, click OK. Here is the second data set created. Now we will go to analytics tab. Now let me tell you a different thing. If I pull this trend line directly, so it shows me some different models. These are the different models. Like it's basically a math, right? The linear equation, logarithmic equation, exponential, polynomial, or power. So if I directly pull, by default it takes linear. That is what it has taken here as well, right? But this is not correct, right? As we said, my cells are going down, but this line is showing it's going up. This is wrong. So let's remove this. What I will do, I will pull it, and I know by visualization it is a polynomial. I will place it here. See, now this is the correct trend. Now I can see, okay, my trend is coming down. Now let me quickly create, and we know all how to create quickly. We can simply do the copy paste. Let me duplicate this my sheet. I have duplicated, and what I need to change, Just I will edit my filter, make it 3. Okay. Since this was a polynomial, right? That is why it has come like this. Otherwise, it would have come like a linear line. Let me show it to you. See, this because of this outlier, this line got distracted. And even because of this outlier, the previous one which we saw, the polynomial even was not able to predict the correct trend. So what we do in data science project, if there is an outlier, let me tell you a little bit more about outlier. So as we talked about like over the period of time and sales, so let's consider this an example of Flipkart, like what they are doing over the period of time. Flipkart has seen, okay, my sales is going up over the period of time, but in this particular month, let's say this is the month of Diwali where the sale was there, a lot of sales has happened, right? There was, because of this outlier, the sales has shoot up, but again in the next month it has come to the normal. So when, if they want to predict, okay, next month what would be my sales, accordingly I will basically arrange my website, products, and all those things, right? I will do all those arrangement. So they will remove this outlier first. If you remove this outlier, your line will come perfectly. That is what outlier does. Let us do for our fourth set as well. Duplicate the worksheet, and here I will convert my data for the set number 4. Exactly all the 4 we have created. So what we see here is like these are all different worksheets. Let us name it. This was my linear, this was my polynomial, this was one with outlier, and this was an, let's say it, a last sheet for us. Okay, so now we created the different visualization, and it's kind of a visual analytics which we have done with the help of analytics model which are available here. We can do a lot, and I will show you more. But what if I want to create a dashboard? Where I need to go? I need to go here, the 4 squares. This will again create a new worksheet. So now let me create a dashboard. So if you see some difference here, I don't see my columns and those things, right? My Excel and all my data. What here I am seeing is the sheets which I have created. This is what the dashboard is about, right? We will basically import all this sheet into a dashboard. Drag and drop. I imported my first sheet, second sheet on the right side of it, third worksheet below this, and the last worksheet below this. So this is like a simple dashboard. You can do a lot of formatting with the help of all the features and all whatnot. Like you can color it and you can put some filters. It can be interactive. You can do many things out of it. Now what happens is, see, we can present this thing, this dashboard to management or to some higher peoples, and they will be able to see. But what if we need to give a presentation, like what I am doing right now to you? I am giving you a presentation, right? So for a presentation, what I have different slides with me, and I am going through it one by one. So basically I have created a story, right? How my story is, first I started with a definition of data visualization, then I did a case study, then I'm showing you hands-on and all those, right? So Tableau, which like came few years back, come up with this point, like here, like this company understand, if we tell a story, it make more sense for the receiver. He's able to understand it more quickly rather than just showing this visual. If I show this visual, the receiver has to spend some time over it. What if I do a presentation? But in like our traditional BI tools like Cognos or Business Objects or MicroStrategy, They were doing all very good visuals and all those, but this storytelling feature was not there. So they have introduced a new feature called as story. Let us create a story as well. Now what it is showing, along with the sheet, it is also showing me the dashboard. What I need to do, I need to pull this here. I need to pull my second sheet, drag and drop. Let me name it as well. Linear. Second one is polynomial. Third one is outlier. My last worksheet, as well as my dashboard. So see what I have done. I have pulled all this worksheet into a single story. And when if I am doing a presentation to my management, what I can do rather than opening from here, going showing them the first visual, second visual, third visual, and then the dashboard, what I can do, I can simply have it like a PPT. Okay, this was my linear model, this was my polynomial model, this was an outlier study, this was also an outlier study, and here is a complete dashboard. So that is what the feature is available in Tableau to tell a story. Okay, now let's do some more visual analytics with the help of Tableau. So as of now, we don't have much data here, right? So let me import a new data. Let me close this one. Let me go to the data source pane and I will open a new Excel. Called as Global Superstore. This you will be able to find easily over the net. As well as let me tell you how you can have this Tableau with you as well. You can go to tableau.com. You can go to try now. So what Tableau does, Tableau provides you a 14 days free trial. You can enter your email ID and you can download the free trial. But for the students and the teachers, you can get a 1-year license. So you need to read more here in the details, and that is how you can get the Tableau and you can do your practice over the Tableau. Okay, so what we had done, we imported this global superstore data. Now, what this global superstore data content, it has 3 different sheets: orders, peoples, and return. Let me first drag this order from into this pane. What it does, it brought me all my fields: order date, ship date. These are all the columns which are there in this particular order sheet. Now, as part of the database, like you might have studied, we need to join the tables, right? It's not like that I have everything available into a single table. So what we can do here, if I bring this people sheet as well, see what happens. It is asking me, although it has already created a relationship between order table and the people table on the help of the on a column which is common in both the sheets, which is region. I can change it as well, but it has make it correctly. So this is fine. And this is the data of the people table. Now let's do some visual analytics on top of it. I go to my sheet, and here, if you see, I have both the tables with me, the order table, the people table. And as I told you previously, here it's not very visible, but these are in green color because this is a continuous data. You remember, right? In database, what we understand, the fact data, which we can aggregate, which we can count. So these are my measures. while these are my attributes or the dimensions. Like this is a geography kind of dimension. That is why the symbol is like a globe. I have the customer ID, customer name, which is a text. I have the date field. That is why this icon is coming like a date. I have this number fields, which is a discount profit field, which is again a number. We can aggregate this data. Okay, let me pull this category into the column. What it does, it is showing me that my data set have three different categories: furniture, office supplies, and technology. Now I would like to see what was the sales for for these three different categories. What I will do, I will simply put the sales here. Automatically see the Tableau has created a bar chart. So Tableau is like quite smart. It knows here you are comparing a single sales. Here you are comparing the sales for different categories. So the bar chart is better for you. But if you want to change the visualization, you can go to on the right hand side here, show me, you click here, and then you can make like a heat map. What heat map is? It is showing me my data for the different categories, as well as you can see the different colors here. And what this color is showing, if my data is low, the numbers are less, it is light in color, while if my data is high, it is the color is quite dark. This is what is gradient is. I can change my visualization. Let's create a pie chart. What it has done, it has divided the three categories into three pie chart, and over this tooltip it is showing for my furniture category my sale is this much, for my office supplies category my sale is this much. I can have a simple table where I can simply see my data. Now let's do some more visualization. Let me include the date field, order date. Let me remove this category first. I can simply click on this drop down. I can remove this. So this is my overall sale for all my category. If there is no dimension, so it has done the sum of all sales. Now let me pull the order date into the columns. It has given me like this. Now what if I want to look a line chart? I have created a line chart. So what happens in our Python or R? You need to write a lot of code, right? But those are open source. Like you don't have to pay for those. You just need an infrastructure. You just need your server and all those. But if you rely on such tools like Tableau, Power BI, MicroStrategy, they give you a graphical user interface where you can quickly create the reports. In R, Python, and this kind of languages, with the help of like in Python, you may remember we have like matplotlib library if you have studied, or Cbun. In R, we have ggplot, those kind of libraries. With the help of we do the visualizations, but we need to write the code. But here, if you want to do the quick analysis of your data, you want to do the quick visual analytics, then with the help of such tools, you can do it. Let us do more here. Okay, what I am seeing with the help of this line chart, over the period of time, it has shown me my sales is going like this. It is going up. You can see a plus symbol here. What this plus symbol is saying, it is saying like it is like a hierarchy. Date is like a hierarchy, and currently when I pulled the order date, it should have shown me the date. But what Tableau does, it automatically aggregates, right? So what it has done, it has shown me the topmost hierarchy, which is my year. If I click here, it has shown me as per the quarter. So for 2011, for quarter one, this was the sale. For quarter two, this much was the sale. It is going upward. This is the trend what I am seeing. Now if I include month, this is what. Now let me remove this for better visuals. So now what we are doing for the over the month, this is my sale. But what for which particular year? As of now, it has taken all the year into consideration. So what we will do, we will put a filter on the year. For that, I need to pull my order date into the filter, and I will go with the years. And let's say we need to analyze for the year 2014. So for the year 2014, for all this month, this is the line chart I can see. Now I need to do more analysis. Let us include a one more dimension which we already saw, category. Okay, or let's include another dimension, region. I want to see the sales of my region for the different months. So what I will do, I will pull the region into the column. See, Tableau is very smart. Now it understood, it converted this line chart into the bar chart. Why? Because it came to know, okay, you have included a region here. So you wanted to compare the regions, right? You wanted to compare the regions for a particular month, like in the month of January for the year 2014, which of my region has done good sales? Here it is showing central, while which of my region has done bad, which is Canada. So with the help of this bar chart, we can easily see all this. But we can convert into line chart. Like I don't want to do a comparison basically. So this is a some detail level comparison, but I need the line chart only. So what I can go? I can go to the show me. I can click on this line chart. So there are so many lines. Why? Because see here, there are so many regions. So for every region, the Tableau has given different color. So it can tell you like for this particular region, which is my central, which is in this orange color, this is my say. So this kind of data visualizations or this kind of visual analytics we can do with the help of Tableau. Let us do some more. Let me create a bubble chart out of it. So many, right? It's not giving me a good information. I am not, while looking at these many bubbles, I am not able to figure out like what it is, right? So let me remove this particular attribute, right? So what I have done is for year 2012, I have removed the month from the dimension, and now what I see is for my all the regions, what is my sale. Now what it is showing here, the regions are in the color. See, these are the different pens. I basically my region is in this particular pen. So here every color represents a region. My south region is colored with the red color, while the size of this circle shows the sales. If the sales is more, we saw right with the help of bar graph. Thus, the sale was more for the central region. That is why the size of this circle is big. So it depends like what you want to convey, what kind of report your business is asking. If it's like at a very high level, we can give this rather than the bar chart where they don't want to directly. By looking here I can see okay my central is doing good while my this particular is not doing good. And see the Tableau is very smart, it knows this particular region name will not fit here and it will look bad if it will overlap, right? So it has not given the name inside this. But if you do with the help of R or Python or this kind of language, it will come here. You can avoid it, you can remove it, but again you have to do some more coding to remove for a particular region. So it has done like this. So it is also one of a visualizations which we have created. Also like I also want to show what was the sale here, like it is showing me and I need to hover over. But what if business don't have, let's say, the access to Tableau, we just want to give a print, we will take the screenshot of it and we just want to send this mail to the business. So we need the numbers here, right? This 9,39,000 should come inside this. So what I will do, I will go to the cells, I will drag it into this label. What I did, I went to the cell, I am dragging this into the label. See, everything has come here. Even I don't have the profit right now, but I can drop this profit as well, and it is showing me profit. And we can have the text here word like as sales and profit. You can do all those things with the help of Tableau. Okay, so we talked about Tableau, right? But Tableau is not the only tool for this visualization or for visual analytics. There are many hundreds of tools. And the picture right now, the graph which you are seeing right now, has listed some of the niche players or some of the main players which are there in this analytics and business intelligence industry. And Tableau is here. Let me first try to explain you what this diagram is about. And this is created by Gartner. Yesterday also we looked at one of the Gartner report, right? What it does, it do the analysis over how all the different technologies, how all different product companies are doing. So what it has done, it has divided this analytics and business intelligence platform into 4 different categories: niche players, visionaries, challengers, and leaders. So what are my niche players? These are my niche players. There are hundreds of companies, but these are doing very good. On the y-axis, it is ability to execute, how much they are able to execute, while on the x-axis, I have completeness of vision. When I say vision, vision of BI and analytics. Are they able to, do they have the vision of doing everything? In a single product, we cannot have all the things. It will be able to do one thing very strongly, while in some other feature, it will be lacking. So these are the niche players which are there. While if I talk about this particular quadrant, it is visionaries. So for an example, if I talk about Oracle has its BI tool called as OBI. Okay, so this is, it has a very good vision, but it is not in the leader quadrant. Why? Because it is not able to execute. They have given a lot of features and everything, but on the business use cases, which are real business use cases, where you need to connect to the big data, where you need to connect to the different data sources, where the volume of the data is very large, you have millions and billions of records, and you want to process all that data into your tool. Are it is it able to execute? That is what this all graph is saying on different parameters. Though I have, like for an example, MicroStrategy, what it does, it falls under challengers quadrant. So it is able to execute better than this, but the vision, when I say vision, it may not have all the features which other tools have. But when we talk about Tableau, right, it is quite at high, right? It is able to execute as well. It has the vision as well. The Microsoft is at the top. It has the tool called as Power BI. But the Microsoft is in the market from a very long time, right? It's an enterprise tool and it has a lot of products. But Tableau has come recently, but it has grown very fast, very fast. So this was like about business intelligence and analytics tool. Let me switch to another. Let me switch to this PPT. What makes a good visualization? We started with that, right? Like what we studied in my data science or data analytics, I have the data. So basically from the data, I took my information. I don't need all the data. I need some of the data from it. The data should be accurate. It should be consistent. The integrity should be there. The data should be correct. That is what I need. If I need to create a good visualization, the first thing is data. Another thing can be concept. What would be my concept? Another would be what I wanted to achieve. I told at one time, right? What is your goal? Who, what, and how? Who is your audience? What is your goal? What you want to create? I want to show the sales over the period of time, I want to show the sales for the different categories, for the different region, right? So what is my goal? If I am clear about my goal, as well as I need to create a good visual out of it, right? So how I will start? First, I have the data. With the help of this data, and I need my goal, I will plot something on the paper, right? As well as I can have a rough sketch. But then when I can make use of some tool, I will do a detailed sketch. I will storyboard it. Maybe I get data, I have the goal, I have everything. Now I will create my prototype. We call this POC, proof of concept. And when I know everything, and when I blend all this thing together, it will give me a successful visualization, which I am through which I am able to communicate my story, communicate my analysis to the higher management. So this, with this slide, like, we will end our session and we can move to the question answers part.
So Himanshu, I can see a couple of questions. I think one of the first question I can pick up. We can start with that. So I think one very good question that is on virtual avatar. That what is the use of virtual avatar and why simple audio assistance is not sufficient. So basically, what is happening in the market is uh, there are some trends going on around. Say for example, virtual branch banking, digital branch banking. There are some use cases on airport industry where reception and all they want to convert it with the help of virtual avatar. So uh, there are some banks in the market. What they want is they want a very less humans in the branch because that is not very cost effective. What they want to do is when somebody visits the branch, there'll be certain kiosk, so there'll be a big screen, there'll be a virtual avatar there, and instead of talking to human, you can talk to virtual avatar, and you can get your work done. And there'll be only very less human will be available in the branch, and that way they want to serve. Similarly, in airport industry, what is happening, instead of having receptionist and all, because for that they need a lot of separate area and all, but they are installing chaos there. And for any guidance in the airport, because it's normally it is huge, so they install a small kiosk, and there again you will find virtual avatar, and avatar will be able to talk in multiple languages. It will have a capability to fetch any detail from the background, and it will not need so much of space. It is just a one large screen, and you just talk to avatar, and you may also have a touch panel within the just beside the avatar, and instead of speaking you can just press something and then avatar will guide you. So those kind of use cases are there where they are implementing virtual avatars. Okay, so I hope I have answered your question. uh, One of the next question is, if companies past data is not available but insufficient or misleading, okay, and in that case what is the business model which we can propose? Okay, so this is also a very good question, and we come to this kind of situation quite often. For example, if we are on startup and we want to implement recommendation system, right? So when you do a login, and it's a new customer, and as a startup I am also new, I don't have enough information about the customer. So how to start recommending something, right? So the approach which we normally follow is we try to understand customer by asking some proactive questions, and then random recommendations based on those proactive questions. And then we try to create a profile of the associate, and then keep on accumulating more and more data over the period of time, and the model matures. That is one approach. And second approach is, if that is a very generic requirement, then we might get readily available AI models also. But if it is very custom specific or business specific requirement, then as I discussed, this kind of approach is we follow. So
Okay, next question I will take, which is from Piyush. And this, what Piyush is saying, this question is not specific to Tableau. When we use any database as source of data, and database is continuously changing its data. In this case, can this visualization software also change the graph, plot, or similar in real time? A good question, Piyush. So let me share my screen and show in Tableau how you can have the real time data. Like there was a option there. I hope my screen is visible. Can someone confirm?
Yes,
Am I audible?
yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So here you see this connection option, right? I have live and extract. I showed you in the architecture as well. Like either we can have the live connection or we can have the extract connection. So what extract does, if I change this radio button from live to extract, what I can do, I can take up this data, this particular data which I have imported into the memory of Tableau server. It will be like of a cache or it will be like of a queue. While if the connection is live, it will be against live database. So my data would be directly coming from the tables. Now your next question on the same point, will my graph will change automatically? That is something called as real-time data visualization, right? So if you have created a report, right, it will not change. The report is created and you have run the report, your data is ready in form of some visual or in form of some table. That would be static. But if you will refresh it, it will change. But let's say you want to make it real time. I don't want to go to Tableau and refresh my report, right? Why I should do it? So there are mechanisms like you can create the schedules. You can make a schedule for every half an hour. Automatically my Tableau report will get refreshed after half an hour, and your graph, your plot, your table, all your reports and dashboard, everything will get automatically changed based on the data. Not only the time based, right? I did after half an hour. What I can do, I can put a dependency on the table if there is a data load. So what happens in world of databases? We have the job load. There is a job ID is associated with each job load. What is a job? The, it is a process through which the table get loaded and an ID get associated with it. So what we do in the Tableau, we can create a dependency on top of that particular job ID. So once that job get completed, automatically my Tableau schedule will get trigger and my Tableau reports or dashboard will get refreshed. Only the things here which we need to remember is if it is against a transactional data where the data is changing at every minute or every second, your reports will keep changing and you won't be able to see anything, right? So that is why you build the data warehouse where you may have some lag data, maybe a 1 day old data, it can be 1 hour old data as well. So this is how the real-time reporting happens. And I believe the second part is related with AI. Maybe Jinal can take it up.
Sure, Himanshu. Yeah. So next question is, how can we predict? I believe the question is on share price, right? Yeah. So see, there are multiple aspects. Let's cover just two aspects within the share price prediction. Uh, One is based on your historical data, you predict the share price for a particular day. That is regression kind of problem statement. And second is you predict it for entire period. So you take your historical data of share price. Maybe additionally you can take EPS, PE ratio, which industry it belongs to, what is it, what is ROE, ROC, a lot of finance terms. Such kind of data you can take up. And for last 10 years, say for example you have taken, and for next 1 week or for next 1 month you can predict. So it's like a time series kind of problem which we have not covered. So it can give you a graph of entire month or each and every day in time series kind of predictions. And for regression, it can give you a prediction based on a single with the help of a single day kind of prediction. So both options are there, and there are a couple of more examples. Even reinforcement can be applied, but these two are very basic, which can be applied for share price.
Okay, let me take the next questions. Next two questions I can see is related with Tableau, and they are comparing it with like Microsoft Excel. Will Tableau will be the default part of Microsoft Excel Office in future? This is a different thing I want to promote. See, Microsoft Excel is a tool, you can say, which is available on your machine, right? While Tableau connects to the server. And Microsoft itself has its own BI tool, which is Power BI. So they have built their own product. So whether it will be the part of, like, they can that someday, but yes, but Tableau has taken the Microsoft Excel as a feature into it. We can import our table data into the Microsoft Excel. Next question, how will Tableau tool and Microsoft Excel impact in data science? Right, right. So they are right. See, it's not impact, it's like they are helping to analyze the data in the data science domain. We are making use of Tableau tool and Microsoft Excel. Excel is like a tool which is available on your machine, but it cannot handle a large volume of data. That is why this kind of tools come, which are like server based, Tableau or Cognos or BI. Next question is, what is different between .twb and .twbx extension? Okay, so Nitin, the question is from Nitin. So .twb is for the Tableau workbook. It's a plain workbook without data, while .twbx is with data, basically. So if I want to send whatever I have created today, right? If I want to send that Tableau file to you, and if you want to open that file with the help of your Tableau software, I can send it to you in two different formats, which you have mentioned. If I send it to you with the help of the with extension .twbx, it will come with the data. If I don't, if I send it only with TWB, the data will not be there. You will be you will be able to open the file, the structure and everything will be there, but the data will not be there. But if you have the same Excel or the same data which I had, you can connect to it and you will be able to see the visualization. Again, there is the next question on Tableau, using Tableau problem in Microsoft. I already explained, I believe Microsoft has its own Power BI tool. So they are already competing in the market. What is Tableau data engine? That is like it has its own engine, right? Like it depends what kind of data we are connecting, whether it is big data, whether it is whether it is a relational data. So accordingly, the connector which we are using, ODBC connector, right? Accordingly, the query will get created based on it. That is what the engine, the data engine of the Tableau does. Next question is, what will you say the best practices in data scientist? Right. So this is like the data scientist. I showed you the skills, right? So in terms of best practices, if we say the first and foremost important thing for the data scientist is to identify the actual problem, what we want to deliver, right? That is what is applicable everywhere. What is the actual problem? It's very easy to say, but when you have a lot of data and when your organization is very big, it's very difficult to have a proper communication channel with your managers. They are doing some different business as well. So the identify the problem is one of the best practice. Second practice for the data scientist would be to get the clean data or the correct data, right? Otherwise, whatever the model he will build, it won't be a good model. Next thing is like the accuracy should be good. There can be many best practices which we have already gone through in our session. Career in Tableau. Yep, it's not like only about tool. If you are specific to Tableau, Tableau is growing. So yes, if you learn the Tableau, you can get a good start in the software industry. But don't only limit yourself to Tableau. You should have a good understanding of the SQL, because behind this we are connecting to the database, right? So we need to first understand the SQL part. If we are connecting to the big data, then you need to first understand what the big data is, what Spark and all those things. Okay, what is next question? Previous, can you share any specific resource for future further learning?
Let
I
me,
believe Piyush is asking Jinal if you have
yeah,
some.
yeah, sure, sure. Himanshu. So Piyush, I respect that, you probably want to get into a deeper into the prediction, but I'm not sure at what level you are right now in AI ML space. So to be very frank, you may have to learn machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms, the, mathematics science behind it, EDA processes, that is, data cleaning and all the phases. And based on that, you can create your models. You may have to have understanding of finance domain, that which all parameters you have to take. Now see, there are certain things which your AI model will not be able to take care. For example, equity market, that is it is driven by a lot of sentiments also, right? So say for example, there is a corona and then market went down. Now your model doesn't have a data on corona, right? So understand that there'll be certain limitations and there'll be certain advantages. Now, if you want to get into any specific area, first of all, you have to learn that domain a little bit. Plus, you have to have understanding of AI ML models, that which model you should apply. You cannot directly jump onto a specific problem without having understanding and overview of entire ML and DL space. So if you already have that understanding, then you can get into you can create your profiles on GitHub, Kaggle. You will get a lot of help, and you will get a lot of ready-made content to start on that. But if you do not have that background of AI, ML, deep learning algorithms, then you have to start on that first, and then you can start with your problem statement. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay, the next question is, can Tableau be installed on Mac OS? Yes, it can be. Next question from Pramod is, to keep data and its analysis of graph confidential and not visible to authentic person in Tableau. Yeah, we do have the security provisions in Tableau. You can create the security filter based on like their roles, based on the IDs, based on the employee ID, and we can map it to the data, and yes, it can be done. Next question from Nitin is, what is the maximum number of rows Tableau can utilize at one time? There is no as such like maximum number of rows. It can be any number of rows, but yeah, the number of rows will grow. The processing time will also grow, as well as the load on your server will also grow if it is millions or billions of rows. Based database Tableau. It's not like we have any particular best NoSQL database. You can connect to a lot of NoSQL databases with Tableau with the help of many driver. For an example, Cloudera, Hostenberg, which I showed you in the tab. So that is one of the things from one of the driver of the Cloudera to which we can connect. Again, this question is repeated. Can Tableau be installed? Yes, it can be. Okay, the next question is, what is big data in terms of data science and how to handle it? Yeah, it's a good question. Like, see, we started that discussion yesterday, right? I showed you what is the difference between data engineering and data science, right? So when we talk about data engineering, it is more about big data. Like my data is there, which is when we say big data means what? There you might have read about those 5 V's, right? Velocity, volume, veracity, and those things, right? So it is like more, the volume is quite high, the data is quite unstructured, so you need to make that data readable before you do your analysis on it, and it's like a complete procedure. Okay, next question is on AI. Maybe Jinal, you can take it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, normally people use Python. That is very, you can say that right now most of the AI/ML algorithms and most of the AI/ML framework supports Python. So if you want to start something, probably Python will have wider options. People use R language also, but it is very, very niche area, and you can say that the opportunity wise and some noises there. So opportunity wise and the market demand wise, Python will be the better option to start with. Okay, which algorithm is best in, okay, I believe AL or ML. AL, when you have written, probably I think that is typo, it is AI. So see, AI is, you can say, a concept. And when you want to achieve intelligence within your application, you may have to go for machine learning models. And within machine learning model, you will have deep learning, which is a very specific to, you know, you can say neural network kind of approach. Now, it is never, we can never say that this algorithm is better than this algorithm, because it depends on your data, on your business requirement. So that is the reason we always attempt to select 2 to 3 models based on the requirements. We try to fine tune and find out that which one will work for my situation. Okay, so you will never be able to decide that this is better and this is not good. But yes, there are certain things which you will be able to decide. Say for example, in natural language understanding within the AI space, there are certain embeddings available. So when we are talking, if I create something which is from very scratch, from zero, if I will use certain embeddings, it will probably not be able to understand all the aspects. But there are some embeddings available from Google which has wider aspects of the nuances which we speak normally, the terminologies which we usually use as a customer. So those kind of nitty gritties will be there, and based on that we decide. Say for example, machine learning model size will be 500 MB and deep learning model size will be 5 MB. There'll be certain advantages here, there'll be certain disadvantages here. So it's like a situation to situation things will be different. Okay. Okay, so what is the difference between strong AI and weak AI? I'm not sure when you say strong AI and weak AI, but understand one thing, that whenever you create any AI application, you will be able to decide based on some of the mathematical parameters. So you will get accuracy scores, you will get confidence scores, you will have your own mechanism of validation, and based on that you will be able to decide whether you are meeting your expectations or not. Okay, so I hope that statement I am able to answer. Okay. uh, One of the next question is, heard about Neuralink. Sorry, I'm not sure about it. Okay. What is about future of AI? Okay. So see, understand one thing. In future, or maybe even in today's world, you will not find any application without using AI element within it. You pick up Tableau, even that is a development tool, right? You use Tableau to develop your visualization, even that has AI element within it. When you create any application, say for example, web application for retail store, right? So it has recommendation part, that is AI element. Similarly, you go and try to use any application, it will always have some AI elements within it. So you can say that it will become a mainstream backbone of each and every application which we use. Okay. So certainly it is a part of our life, be it as a consumer or be it as a developer community, it will be a part of our life. Okay. I think no more questions left for us. There is one question on certification, probably somebody from college management can be able
Yes,
to
sir.
answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, there is one more question I can see. Tableau similar to ClickView. Yes, like the functionality is same, the goal is same, where the ClickView also do the data visualization and the data analytics. So these are two different companies. Yes, they are same in terms of functionality, but in terms of features, we need to explore this both of the tools, how they differ in terms of functionality. Tableau uses small scale or MNC company. Yep, mainly MNC company because it's a costly tool. So usually MNC company use, but yeah, some small scale companies can also use. It depends on their use case. If you want to do the quick analysis, right, then you do. then you go with the Tableau. But if you have time for your analysis, then you can make use of open sources. Yes, Python Anaconda, we told, right? Like this Python, with the help of Python language, you can do all these things: visualization, data analysis. I believe we have answered the questions.
Thank you, Himanshu Sharma sir and Jinal Shah sir for such a wonderful and informative session. Now I request Sujata Bachao ma'am, HOD BBSCA, to give overview of entire 2 day session.
Thank you, Akhila. Now we are at the end of the workshop, and I am so privileged to give the overview of the 2 days national level workshop on data science, analytics, AI, and Tableau. I'm sure that you had 2 days of very productive session given by distinguished guest, Mr. Himanshu Sharma, Assistant Vice President, Data Analyst, and Mr. Jinal Shah, Consultant in Artificial Intelligence. In the first session, they have covered what is data science, role of data scientist, data analytics, its types, and with the different real life examples. In the second session, Jinal Shah sir explained artificial intelligence in detail, as well as different models of machine learning. And Himanshu sir gave demo of visual analytics using Tableau and using different use cases. Now, in this workshop, the participants are from different perspectives, like the academicians are also there, students are also there, and from industry, there are some industry delegates who have participated for this workshop. Now, this workshop ended with the interactive session of the question answers. Number of participants interacted or asked the questions. Now this is, and the participant count you can see, because of you only participant this, and because of the speakers, this workshop is successful, I think. Now this is all about the workshop. Now I hand over the mic to the Akhila.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have our principal with us, Dr. Ashok Agrawal. Now I request our principal sir to say a few words in this occasion.
Namaskar, good morning everyone. Mr. Jingal Shah, Mr. Himanshu Sharma, and all the delegates. I once again welcome you in Kaveri. And when I come to know regarding this success of this workshop, I'm very happy. And definitely the credit goes to the resource person, Mr. Shah and Mr. Sharma. And this is possible only because of the involvement, active involvement of all the candidates from Kaveri and other institute, and including corporates. Definitely the topic, that data science, analysis, AI, etc. This is the आज की आवश्यकता है, ऐसा मैं बोल सकता हूँ. This is a hot issue today, but I sincerely feel, Sujata madam, a 2 days workshop, 4-hour workshop is not sufficient for this. Am I right, Mr. Shah, Mr. Sharma? So I request this resource person,
Agree, sir. Yeah.
please suggest us, can we have a week or 2-week course on this, full-fledged course, say 30 hours, 60 hours, or whatever it may be. And can we have course on data science, analysis, and AI separate course? I don't know because I'm illiterate person in all this technology, but I'm sure that this is the hot issue of today.
Right.
So definitely,
Yes, sir.
Completely agree, sir.
So I thanks to all of you for coming here, for sharing their experiences with the participants. I congratulate Mrs. Sujata Bachcha and her team for organizing such a good program. and all participants, dear participants, you deserve a big hand. All participants deserve a big hand. So it is for the, because of you, this can be successful. And I request all the participants, not only from Kaveri, from other institutes also, other corporates also. Now you are Kaverian, because our philosophy is once who come to Kaveri is a Kaverian for life. So now you are Kaverian. So dear participant, you have any difficulty, any question, any sharing, any suggestion regarding this particular topic, other technical topic, other issues, other domain, please feel free to share your queries, questions, suggestions, whatever it may be, with Kaveri. With my colleagues, you can have direct mail to me also on kaveri.college@gmail.com. So that will be ultimately beneficial for all of you and other students also. Once again, I congratulate you. I wish you all the best for your future endeavor. Thank you, Mr. Sharma and Mr. Jingal Shah, for guiding all the participants. Thank you. And let us come closer to have better interaction and closer relation with Kaveri. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure, sir. It was definitely privileged to be here and share our knowledge. And I would say that it is wonderful initiative and it is your vision. Because of that, we could share the knowledge and all the participants benefited out of it. So our pleasure, and we will definitely try to connect more and participate with Kaveri College. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah, I
Mr.
would also like
Yeah.
to add few words. Like thanks a lot for inviting us, and it's a privilege to have the knowledge sharing sessions with the future of our country, where these students can gain from the industry what is going in the industry and with the latest technology, as you have said. And just we are always reachable for any kind of sessions are required in the future.
A call away.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Mr. Sharma, Mr. Shah, and particularly for all the participants. Here I would like to put something regarding Kaveri. For last 60 plus years, Kaveri Group of Institution is a good work in academics in Pune. You know it very well. Kaveri College is the youngest college of this group. We are completing 15th years. And Kaveri has a tradition, एक परंपरा कावेरी की है, एक सोच कावेरी की है, एक विचार कावेरी का है. We have a mission, developing responsible, proactive leadership of tomorrow. And for that, we are conducting a number of activities, and all the activities of Kaveri are open to all the participants, all the students of any institute. Any institute student, any corporate, any youth can attend our course even in physical form also. Whatever training program, whatever guest lectures, whatever program, whatever student development, whatever skill development program we conduct. We are conducting a number of skill development courses also. And during the last year, particularly during the last 11 plus month, unfortunately, we all are facing Angabutanga Bhavishyati difficulty due to this pandemic. And during this pandemic also, we boosted our confidence, we increased our activities, we increased our number of programs, number of training courses, and during last years, we are happy to share we have skilled more than 10,000 students through Kaveri in different skill, maybe different skill on virtual platform. And we have offered Coursera courses. You people might know very well regarding Coursera better than me. This courses, is a huge fee for these courses. If you opt these courses outside, you have to pay more fee. Even if on Coursera for platform, you have to pay higher fee. But Kaveri Group of Institution we have offered these courses free of charge. 3,900 plus courses we have offered.
That's wonderful, sir.
And that is thanks to my present secretary and particularly the treasurer for supporting all these activities for these Coursera courses. So we are able to provide these courses, and we are happy that our students, they have supported us and they have participated in all these courses. शाह साहब कुछ लोगों के तो 40 35 कोर्सेज हम कंप्लीट किए कुछ बच्चों ने.
Good to know.
Average 5 to 10 courses each student have done.
Okay.
Right from your domain to skill development, right from Sanskrit and other languages and Indian tradition and so on. And we are able to reach almost every part of India.
Okay.
During this pandemic. What I am sharing this, I don't want to market Kaveri, but this is particularly for the participant. Dear participant, my young friend, even during pandemic also we can do better. That we have proved.
Right.
And that spirit we have to maintain. And that spirit will maintain. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Over to yes.
Thank you, sir. Now I request few participants to share their feedback regarding the 2 days national level workshop.
Honest feedback, please, with criticism. If any.
Participant.
Hello guys, I'm audible. Myself Nitin Supekar.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And actually, this was a great learning. I think so. The platform which is we are connected to virtually, like Himanshu sir and Jinan Shah sir, has given the best knowledge that is we can able to learn from the houses and whatever their due to these circumstances, the pandemic situations. So I'm very thankful to that, and also I'm very thankful to Kaveri College that they have taken this of this organization virtually, and we also very enthusiasm and we are happy to see these more types of these virtual events in the futures. So we will stay connected, and yeah, definitely that one learning that we cannot stop because the virtuals is based. We can add that this is also be AI type of these advantages. So thank you that all staff of Kaveri College and Himanshu sir and Jian sir. Thank you.
Which
Thank you very much.
institute you present, Mr.
I'm from the Anna Sahib Magar College, Hadap sir.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Please convey my regard to your principal and other colleagues.
Sure, sir. Definitely. I will.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to give some feedback?
Yeah, hi, good evening. Or good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am, myself Abhishek Singh. I'm the student of Kaveri College from the batch 16 to 18.
Oh, great. Welcome to your Maher.
Currently, lot of learns from the Himanshu sir and Jinal Shah sir from this seminar conducted by our college regarding the data science and artificial intelligence. It's a great platform to learn many things from here, sir. It's a great experience for.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody else? Those who would like to convey their feedback?
Yes,
Okay.
बरं ठीक आहे चल निघा आता म्हणजे खूप टेन्शन आलं असेल ना बाबा नाही घाबरत
I think we have come to the end of the session then. So now I request Sujata Bachao ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Akhila. On behalf of Kaveri College of Arts, Science and Commerce, and as a coordinator of this workshop, I would like to thank Mr. Himanshu Sharma sir and Jinal Shah sir for sharing their expertise with us in a very simple and understandable way. Sir, because of both of you only, this workshop was productive and provided us a great learning experience. Thank you, sir. This workshop is successful because of good response from not only students, academicians, but also from the industry delegates. So I would like to thank all the participants for their presence and active participation in question answer session. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Ashok Agrawal, Principal, Kaveri College, and Dr. Mukta Karmarkar, Vice Principal, Kaveri College, for their motivation and support. I would like to thank Computer Science and Application Department team for their wholehearted work and cooperation. Once again, I express my special thanks to resource persons and participants. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Here is an important note that the feedback link will be sent to your registered email ID, and within 2 to 3 days, you are going to get the certificate. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.